Welcome back to another video, Cinephiles. I'm Robbie.
I'm Chris.
And today we are reviewing something different. We're not doing a movie, we're doing a TV series. Stranger Things, Season 1. We're both highly excited for Season 2, which is premiering...
October 27th, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, very shortly. So we thought we'd go back and look at Season 1. Definitely one of the better series that's going around today. So
hands down.
Hands down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we go. Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Only gets stranger.
It gets very strange,
it
actually.
Does.
Yeah.
Hear the music.
Bond. James Bond.
Here's Johnny. Chewie, we're home.
"99 out of 100 times, kid goes missing. The kid is with a parent or a relative."
What about the other time?
What?
You said 99 out of 100. What about the other time? The one!
Stranger Things was created by the Duffer Brothers and it stars Winona Ryder, David Harbour, Matthew Modine, Millie Bobby Brown and Finn Wolfhard.
So the plot is a young boy mysteriously disappears, and a police chief, his friends and his mum and the rest of his family have to band together to fight evil forces and strange things in order to get him back.
Hence the name, Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. And do they get him back?
So
we can't tell you. We can't tell you. That's the thing. So you have to watch it.
Yes.
If you haven't already.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched it already, then, you know.
What are you doing? Seriously,
Yeah.
go and watch it.
Fix your life up. So this show is great.
Absolutely.
It's only had 8 episodes and it's already one of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah.
I was immediately hooked.
Absolutely.
And maybe it's because it's very much like the films that I grew up with. I'm sure it's the same movies that you grew up with.
Absolutely.
E.T.
Yep.
All those Spielberg movies like Close Encounters.
Yes.
And then ones that even he didn't direct, but he had his touch on, like Poltergeists.
Yep.
Movies like that. It's kind of like a wonderful mashup of all those movies in just one production.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'd say I was gripped right from the opening shot, you know, when the boys are downstairs actually, you know, playing, role-playing, and you see posters of The Thing.
Yes.
You know, and all these really great 80s references, and that's how the show was actually sold to me. Like, everyone was saying, oh, you gotta watch Stranger Things, like, you love 80s, like, it'll be cool, like, you know, watch that.
Same
and I'm
with
like,
me. Yeah.
that's cool, and I went into it sold on that. But you see all those things, and then it's like you get in to know the characters. You know, you get into, like, know exactly what's going on. It's like, I love all these people on the screen. It's fantastic. So what I love about it, it's got these 80s references, but it's not reliant on that for it to work. No. Like, it does its own thing. It really works.
The nostalgia's there,
Yep.
but the show doesn't rely on it to get its hype going.
Yes.
The story is really intriguing and really captivating, even though it does take a lot of elements that we've already seen. But just the way the Duffer Brothers have created this, film, it feels like a movie.
It feels like a movie.
It literally feels like a movie.
Yeah, absolutely. The way it's actually shot, it feels like it's got movie production value.
And the effects are great.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, even though they are pulling a lot of similar plot points and story devices that we've already seen, even in modern day kind of like 80s movies like Super 8.
Yep.
And now It, which just came out. It feels original.
Yep.
It did just come out.
It did just come out.
It feels original.
Yeah, absolutely.
While feeling familiar.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a really wonderful blend and something that really got to me.
Yeah.
That nostalgia, the nostalgical things that I grew up with.
Yep.
And just little things that you see, like the VCRs and the old
Rabbity TVs and
yeah,
things like
and
that
the
as well.
old,
It's
the
like,
old
this is
Walkman
great.
and the phone with the dial.
Yep, it's just all stuff that we kind of grew up
Yeah.
with, you know. And it's like, we see that, and it's like, yep, that's 1983,
Yeah,
right there.
definitely.
You know, they got it.
But even if that's not your childhood, even if you didn't grow up with that, there's still so much here to love. Performances across the board are just amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
This, I'd say, would be, I don't know if you agree with me, but for me, this is Winona Ryder's best performance.
Definitely one of the best performances I've seen her in. I think she was really good in. There was a '90s film called Girl Interrupted.
Yeah,
She was in. She was good in that.
She was good in that.
Yeah, but I think here, where she plays the distraught mother,
She just
like,
nails
she
it.
nails it. She's very good.
Yeah,
in it.
she feels
very good.
so committed
Yep.
to everything, and it's a role that could easily go down the path of corny and cliched and just too much, but she just refines the character so well,
Yeah.
and it feels like a real character. It doesn't feel like she's trying to force the hysteria or anything.
No.
She generally feels, so she generally looks like she feels crazy.
Yeah, that's right, absolutely. You know, you see that paranoia grow as the episodes kind of go on, but I got her character right from the opening. It's like, okay, here's a single mum, right? She's working to support her 2 kids. She's rushed off her feet, and the whole thing. And you can kind of see, like, once Will goes missing, it's like you can see where Joyce is going to go because of that. And she really sells it. I think it's a combination of great acting, great direction, great writing.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It's really those 3 things coming into play.
Yeah. For in nearly every element of the production, I think it's pretty much flawless.
Yeah.
The kids are incredible.
Yes.
Finn Wolfhard plays the lead. Mike Wheeler.
Yep.
We saw him in It as well.
Yeah.
And he is.
That kid's going places.
He really is.
He's fantastic. Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown playing 11. She was fantastic.
Wow.
Another one who's really going places. She's been cast in the new Godzilla. She's already going places.
Absolutely. Yeah. And she's got the presence of an actor twice, 3 times her age. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I love about these kids is they don't seem like child actors.
No.
They carry the weight presence of adults. And we really, where I feel Stranger Things is at its absolute best is where we're following those kids. Yeah. Like we're with them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, even though Winona Ryder and David Harbour both get lead credits, it's a kid's story.
Yeah.
It's very much like Super 8 and E.T., where even though Dee Wallace and E.T. gets the lead credit, it's really Elliot that we follow through the film. Same with Super 8.
Yep.
All those movies, it's a kid's story, and Stranger Things is exactly the same.
Yeah.
The adults are probably more prominent in this one than those other movies, but they're still supporting roles.
Absolutely. Yeah.
David Harbour was fantastic as well. I've always liked David Harbour.
Yep.
He's never blown me away.
Right.
But I've always liked him.
Yeah.
In this one, he blew me away.
Yeah. Right.
He was great.
Okay. Yep.
He just played the role so
A real person.
thoughtful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did love how his patrol car was a direct reference to Sheriff Brody's car in Jaws. I did love that.
Absolutely, yeah, that's it. I mean, all those little Easter eggs, like, you know, if you love these films, you know, that we grew up with, like, you'll see, like, even the name Hopper.
Yeah.
As well. I mean, that's Predator reference right there. You know, General Hopper.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. But I mean, his character introduction was great. You know, where he's just getting ready for a day's work. You know, it's like, yep, the shower, the cigarette, you know, the drink, and then okay, off to work.
Yeah.
And he left his TV on, which is weird, but anyway, still works. You know, great stuff.
But I thought all the character introductions were handled wonderfully.
Yep.
Some people, some of them get more introduction than others.
Yep.
But they all feel like fleshed out characters by the end of the introduction.
Yes.
Even Matthew Modine, who could have just been a classic, cliched bad guy, he's got. When you first meet him, he feels like the classic cliche bad guy. And the very next scene, you get presented this other side to him, and you realize how he's connected more towards 11 and the whole story, and you're like, wow, there's actually a lot more to this guy than what we thought.
Yeah.
And
there's real depth there, you know. And
definitely.
everybody is given their own arcs, you know. all the characters on screen, everybody is essentially paid attention to in the writing through it. But incredible stuff.
Yeah. So and we can't not talk about the music in this. Both the score and obviously the songs were all 80s and they were great, but the score was just amazing.
Yep, absolutely. I was watching today, just before I came up here, I watched 3 episodes. And one thing Netflix is doing, which really irritates me now, is the skip intro comes up, which is like a big no-no, particularly when a score is this good. Yeah. It's like, watch it, listen to it. And I actually couldn't help myself but play the intro a few times, because I was just hooked on that intro music. Yeah. The use of 80s synths in there, the bass, the melody, it's so cool. And the graininess, the grainy quality of the intro while the credits are rolling as well. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, as soon as I finished watching the show for the very first time, I just went straight to my local JB Hi-Fi and I went and bought the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I just had it on loop for so long. It's my ringtone on my iPhone.
Oh, this guy has the most incredible collection of soundtracks I've ever seen. It's like a whole wall of CDs I'm just looking at over here right now. Like, so cool.
I love soundtracks.
Yes, absolutely.
But Stranger Things. If it was a movie, I would easily say it's one of my favorite movie themes.
Yep.
And as a whole, it would easily be in my top 5 films if it was a movie.
Absolutely.
It is just stunning.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for season 2. Can't wait to see where they go with it.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, the cinematography, the use of lighting, like particularly in the first episode, and you were talking about E.T. when you see the kids actually, riding up the road and there's light over the hill behind them, like that is a shot that's really inspired from E.T. I remember seeing that.
Well, I'm pretty sure I read that there's a lot of shots with the Duffer Brothers very particularly said, we are filming this like Spielberg.
Yeah.
And you can see it.
You can see it.
If I didn't know who made it, I would have said Spielberg made this.
Yeah. It's like Spielberg doing TV.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And of course the Demigorgon. We've got to talk about the Demigorgon.
Oh, for sure.
So
without any spoilers, obviously.
No. So the Demigorgon is hidden for most of the series, which I like. I don't like when they just reveal the monster straight up.
No. You can't do that.
No. And there is so much suspense around this thing.
Yeah.
Like really, really suspenseful scenes.
Yep.
The whole mythology behind it is really well fleshed out as well. Like the upside down, like the alternate reality.
Yep.
Like just the way they build it up. By the end of the series, when they say the upside down, you just get chills because you know what that means. And it's set up so wonderfully.
Yeah, very well paced there. I mean, it's kind of the takes a leaf out of the movie Jaws, where we don't see the shark for 80 minutes, in the film, and it just builds a lot of tension. I mean, same sort of thing here. Like these guys really borrow elements from that. The reveal's great, but the tension leading up to it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And the reveal is great. It's one of those moments where it kind of catches you off guard, where they do the kind of the Jaws thing where the reveal comes almost straight after, not a joke, but a more lighthearted bit.
Yeah.
So you are not focused on the Demigorgon appearing, and the next thing it just comes out of nowhere, and you're like, whoa, okay, yeah, that's right, we're watching this thing now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And even the design, I thought, wasn't... it could have gone, really weird and science fiction-y, and it felt otherworldly while still feeling real enough.
Yeah, it was fairly well grounded, I thought, with the design.
Yeah. And its abilities are really scary. Like the opening attack when it takes Will, just the way it happens, it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
literally
totally.
out of nowhere. Yeah. And you think Will's safe, and then it just appears out of, it's where it shouldn't be. You're like, how did it get there?
How did it get there? And we don't quite know. We don't actually see a whole lot. Like there's the shot of the light bulb, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what just happened? This is strange.
And that whole light bulb thing you're saying, it's like what you're saying before, where they don't reveal it straight up, and they do the whole Jaws thing where they do keep it hidden for most of the series.
Right.
And when it is present, even though the characters can see it, same as in Jaws, the characters can see the shark.
Yep.
We don't see it. It's either the point of view of the Demigorgon or something's obscuring it.
Yep.
They have the whole kind of like the music in Jaws, the music announcing the shark.
Yep.
In Stranger Things, it's the lights flickering on and off that announce the arrival of the Demigorgon.
That's right.
So as soon as you hear the lights flickering, you know it's coming, and half the time you don't actually see it. All you see is the lights going on and off.
Yeah.
Something weird happening, and then a character's gone.
That's exactly right.
And that is so much scarier.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. It's our imagination can fill in the
Yeah.
blanks.
And it builds up real suspense
Yes.
and real fear without relying on stupid jump scares.
Preach it, brother.
Not that there isn't any jump scares. There's maybe one or two, but they're so slight. I wouldn't even call them really jump scares.
No, I mean they're definitely scary moments, but they don't see. Unfortunately, the modern audiences have really been conditioned to those very loud jump scares, and that's what people think horror is now.
Yeah, which is
but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
You know, and this TV series trusts its audience to be smart enough.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't deafen us with those loud scares.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very cool. Tension. Yeah.
And with you saying, you know, it's trusted to be smart enough, not just with the suspense, just overall.
Right.
It doesn't spoon feed us anything. It gives us enough information for us to be able to fill in the gaps ourselves without having massive exposition scenes saying, yeah, this is how this is connected and this is how that's connected and, you know, this explains that and this explains this, and it doesn't have any of that. It's it just tells a story, and if you don't follow it, then you've obviously missed something, because it does explain it as it goes.
Yeah, it definitely
without
does.
repeating itself, and
yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and it keeps the characters front and center, you know. And when we end up in the last episode, and when that's finished, and obviously no spoilers because I can't tell you what happens, but when all that is said and done, we've got lots of questions leading into season 2.
Yeah.
So it's like that's exactly what that TV show should have done.
Yeah,
is provide us with lots of questions.
And it's a satisfying ending for a TV series, because so many series either are so close-ended at the end of the season, you're like, well, how can they go from there?
Yeah.
Or they're so open-ended, you don't feel resolution. You're like, oh, okay, we've got to wait in a whole year to see what happens next.
That's right.
Stranger Things has a great balance where it feels open-ended enough, where there are some things you're like, oh, okay, that's a bit of a cliffhanger for next season, but it still wraps up this first story with Will and everything. It has a definite conclusion for this chapter in the story.
For this chapter in the story, I'd definitely say that. Yeah, because there's some interesting things in that last episode where it still has us guessing.
So,
but essentially, you know, that search for Will, that arc is essentially concluded. Yeah.
So those are our thoughts on Stranger Things. Obviously, we both loved it.
Yes.
We're raving about it.
Yes.
Star rating. What are you giving it?
5 easily.
Yeah. There's not even a question. 5 stars for Stranger Things.
I can't give it 6, unfortunately.
I'd give it 10 if I could.
We are bound by the rating system.
10 stars.
10 stars. There you go.
Do you really think it was a coincidence that we found her at the same place where Will disappeared?
Something is going on here!
What the hell?
She knows about Will.
Is there any way that you could reach him?
Yes.
What if this whole time I've been looking for Will? I've been chasing after something else.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, if you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And of course, comment down below what you thought of Stranger Things. We love to hear from you guys. And are you looking forward to season 2? Till next time, I'm Chris.
And I'm Robbie.
See you at the movies.